Should you power up Shadow Ho-Oh in Pokemon Go? Should you raid for it? Should you spend additional raid passes, money, and time on this Pokemon because it's going to be worth your while in Pokemon Go? I don't know, but let's find out now in the total complete breakdown of Ho-Oh in the Shadow form in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Shadow Ho-Oh is going down in raid battles this weekend, and guys, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this because it's a brand new shiny Shadow. How do you not enjoy a new shiny Shadow? Hopefully you guys do get this relatively quickly. If you guys do want the complete counter guide, you can check it out up here after we go over this video, because we're breaking down Ho-Oh in Pokemon Go, regular Ho-Oh, Shadow Ho-Oh, and then we're gonna compare the Ho-Oh to other fire type Pokemon. And it also is a flying type Pokemon, so we'll probably check that out too. But unfortunately for this Pokemon, not for the game, we have Rayquaza with Dragon Ascent, and Dragon Ascent on the Rayquaza. Man, oh man, that moveset is very strong, so there's really not going to be too much to top that. So doing a Shadow Pokemon that's going to cost even more XL Candy as well as Stardust to power up is more than likely going to be a no-go. So let's get into it. Ho-Oh is a fire and a flying type Pokemon, and this Pokemon actually maxes out pretty high. It's going to max out at 4,367 with a pretty even stats of attack, defense, and stamina. The attack is going to be 239, the defense is going to be 244, and the stamina is going to be 214. So like I said, pretty relative even keel. Nothing is really excelling, but the defense looks pretty good, which then leads us into its weaknesses. So it does get the double weakness to rock because it is a flying and a fire type Pokemon, which is a little bit unfortunate for this Pokemon if you're going to use it in GBL, but if you don't lead with it and you have the ability to switch into it in a good manner, guys, it could do a lot of damage, and we'll check that out later in this video. Not only that, it's going to be single weak to water as well as electric, and then it actually resists quite a lot of things. It double resists bug and grass, and it single resists fairy, fighting, fire, ground, as well as steel, which is a pretty impressive list, especially with those two double resistances, even though for GBL it's really not the most things that you're going to see as far as movesets coming out. And then it gets a myriad of different moves, which is going to be quick moves, Steel Wing, Extra Sensory. It's going to get Incinerate, which is an all fire type move to give it the stab bonus, and then it's going to get Hidden Power, which pretty much gives it access to almost every single type of move. Unfortunately for the Hidden Power and catching one of these Pokemon is you can't TM it multiple times to try to change the Hidden Power. Once a Pokemon gets a Hidden Power, it will have the Hidden Power, and then nothing is going to happen from there. So if you TM it, it's going to be stuck on that Pokemon. And then as far as the charge moves, it's going to get Earthquake, which is an elite TM move, as well as Sacred Fire as an elite TM move. Once again, like I talked about in the counter guide, if you guys did see that video, Sacred Fire Plus is going to be only for the Apex Shadow. It will not be for the regular Shadow Ho-Oh. So unfortunately, that is the strongest moveset for that Pokemon, but guys, it'll still do decent. It's just not going to be quite as strong here. And then it's also going to get Fire Blast, Solar Beam, and Brave Bird, and then it will get Return as well if you purify it, or if you want to get Return on the Shadow, you should be able to elite TM it. But at the same time, guys, just a reminder, during this event, make sure if you do catch a good Shadow Ho-Oh that you go straight in and you TM away frustration during the Rocket event, because if you don't, it will take quite a while to be able to do so again. So with all that said, now let's jump into analyzing Ho-Oh. We're going to check out its total damage output combined with damage per second in a value called an ER value, which is made up by Game Press to analyze Pokemon to the best of our abilities through a stat. So we're going to check out what is going to be the best moveset right now. The overall top DPS producing moveset actually is going to be Incinerate and Brave Bird on Shadow Ho-Oh at 44.99, followed by the Sacred Fire Plus at 43.85. So if we're stopping right here, guys, Sacred Fire Plus is already up in the lower to mid 40s, which is actually pretty impressive. Remember, when I talk about a lot of these Pokemon, guys, if it is above 40, that means that it is going to be potentially in the top 5 Pokemon, but the category does matter significantly, and this is not a double stab move here. And then if we want to see the Shadow Ho-Oh with Incinerate and Sacred Fire, it's going to be 41.54, which is still pretty good. And then if you want to see the Purified Apex Ho-Oh with Sacred Fire Plus Plus, because the plus goes into a plus plus when it becomes purified, it's going to be 40.84. So 41.54 is going to be what we're going to be comparing with the other fire types, because with the Apex move, it's not going to allow us to be able to populate both Ho-Ohs into this position. So let's check it out. Remember, 41.54 is going to be the value that we're looking for. At the top, we're going to have Mega Charizard Y with Fire Spin and Blast Burn at 51.91. Then in the second spot, we're going to get Fire Spin and Blast Burn on the Mega Blaziken at 51.65. Then we have the Reshiram with the Fusion Flare, which is absolutely destructive on this Pokemon at 46.8, followed by the Mega Charizard X 44.9. Then we have Shadow Entei, Fire Fang Overheat at 44.12. And then the Sacred Fire Plus on the Shadow Ho-Oh is going to be in the 6th spot at 43.85. But just a reminder, guys, we cannot stop here because that is not really what we're after here because we can't get it from the raid battles right now. But it is good to mention if you do have a good Apex. Shadow Moltres is coming in next at 43.75. Then we have Shadow Blaziken, Shadow Chandelure at 42.98. Then we have the Mega Houndoom. And then on page number 2, we're going to have Heatran with Fire Spin and Magma Storm at 41.65, followed by the Shadow Charizard with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. And then we have the Ho-Oh with the Incinerate and Sacred Fire Plus Plus on the Purified Apex Shadow at 40.84. Right above that, in between the Shadow Charizard and the Ho-Oh, is going to sit the Shadow Ho-Oh with the Incinerate and the Sacred Fire. Okay, so overall, pretty far down on the list, guys. It's not really the top fire type attacker. We have Reshiram in the regular form that's absolutely destroying it as a meta attacker. And then as far as Brave Bird, we don't really need to look at it, but the Mega Rayquaza and the regular Rayquaza are absolutely dominating the flying category. Mega Rayquaza at 70.67 and the regular Rayquaza at 51.54. Then if you go down the list, you can see the Shadow Ho-Oh with Hidden Power Flying and Brave Bird at 42.89, which is also behind Shadow Moltres, Yveltal, Shadow Staraptor actually, before the Shadow Ho-Oh. So in the flying category, once again, not really too impressed, especially because the Shadows do cost more Stardust and more XL Candy, and you have a regular legendary that you should have more than enough XL Candy to max out at the top there. So why not just use that one? And then it also goes into a Mega, which makes it even better. But we still have GBL. Do not forget, because Ho-Oh is a tanky Pokemon. You saw the stats, they look really good. So where does it sit in GBL? In the Great League, yes, the Great League, because we were able to catch it from the Field Research Breakthrough box at one point, so it does have access to the Great League. That is going to be in the 450s, irrelevant. In the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 102 in the regular with Incinerate, Brave Bird, and Sacred Fire, so a little bit outside of what the best situation is there for it. And the Shadow is going to be 132. And then for the Master League, it's actually going to be ranked 8 with Incinerate, Sacred Fire, as well as Brave Bird, and the Shadow is going to be ranked 12. So guys, if this is going to fit into your team, you already use it, and you want the Shadow form, you want it to go in there, guys, this is actually a really powerful Pokemon. And then at the same time, while it doesn't sit at the top spot for the fire category, it is using the same exact moveset that you would use for Master League, so you can multi-purpose this Pokemon. Also, yes, it does require an Elite TM to be able to get it there, but it would be worth it if you're going to fit it into your team, and then it also can be used as a meta attacker. So honestly, guys, pretty cool Pokemon. Would I raid extra hard for it to get many of them, to try to power multiple of them up? My answer is going to be no, but at the same time, guys, let's check out where it does sit in other fire Pokemon for the Master League. It is actually the #1 ranked fire Pokemon, but we also have to consider that it does compete with Groudon with Fire Punch. And Groudon is ranked 4, and I just wanted to update you guys that since we finally got the updated Therian Landorus form, it is actually going to be ranked 2 overall in the Master League with Mudshot, Sandsear Storm, and Stone Edge. So this Pokemon got a massive boost, and it is an absolute beast of a Pokemon. So that's going to do it, guys. Do what you may, but now you have all the information before you go out, you raid hard, and maybe you do or don't get the shiny, and then you go even harder, and then you get more of these Pokemon, and then you find out that, hey, it's not the strongest Pokemon in a meta attacker, but maybe I could use it for GBL. So there you go, guys. Love it, appreciate you. Good luck out there with the shiny. Hopefully all you guys get Shundos. Once again, hit me up on Twitter at the Trainer Club with 2 B's and celebrate if you get a good one. I would love to see it. Thank you guys as always to all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.